Welcome everybody! Souldin of the Grin Brothers here, and Happy New Year! Even though at the time I'm recording this, it's not the New Year, it's still the 30th? Yeah, the 30th of December. But with any luck, this video should be out for the New Year. And as you may notice from the title, for those familiar with this channel, which this is kind of important for the channel, so be a bit weird if you're not familiar with the channel and checking this out. Check out the Grin Brothers channel if you've just randomly clicked on this video. As you may have noticed, this isn't a tea time video. Usually sort of New Year's sort of time, the sort of start of the new year around this time, I'm doing a tea time either of like my top favourite games of the year or the games I'm anticipating for the next year. But things have been a bit scatterbrained this year, 2020 being 2020. So I'm not doing that, and instead this is more not so much a tea time because it's more focused on the channel itself. This is just an update video to talk about the past, the present, and the future of the Grin Brothers channel. Both the upcoming stuff and the very far away stuff that's happening. So that's why I haven't done this as a tea time video, because it's, regarding the channel itself rather than a gaming subject. Although the channel is a gaming channel. So anyway, I want to try to make this short and sweet if possible. And so let's talk about, I've listed here as the present, but it's more, let's talk about the past quickly, and the past being that of 2020 by the point that you're watching this, and by that I feel I should mention the Vlair channel. As you may know, for those who are familiar with the Grin Brothers, we opened up a Vlair channel this in the year of 2020, and not a whole lot ended up happening with it because problems happened at Vlair which caused Vlair to be shut down within like a month and a half of us joining it. Bit of a shame and a bit of a nuisance. Vlair is working on its way to actually being able to reset itself up. There was reasons for it involving like the parent company, the host of this servers, not giving them proper information regarding copyright strikes, so the Vlair got taken down for reasons out of their control, and various financing reasonings have caused Vlair to be temporarily shut down, but they're slowly building themselves back up and will reopen at some point. That said, I'm unsure if the Grin Brothers will be continuing on with the Vlair channel. Not that the Vlair channel was bad per se. In fact, the Vlair site has several things better than YouTube. Most of its problems and flaws came down to the fact that simply it doesn't have the budget of YouTube. But in terms of the ways they were doing stuff, the ideas they had going for it, Vlair was significantly better in a lot of aspects, and I particularly liked it on a presentation aspect. However, I ended up, myself personally, putting a lot of time into Vlair in terms of communicating with people and such, and I wasn't really getting much of a return from it. I was doing a lot of commentary, watching a lot of videos, and there was good content out there. It was a little bit hard to find all of it, because there was a sea of kind of random stuff or stuff I wasn't interested in, but there was good content available. I did watch quite a bit of it, comment quite a bit of it, but the videos that we were putting up on Vlair weren't getting much in the way of viewership, and more importantly, they weren't getting much in the way of comments, which was actually kind of what enticed me to Vlair to begin with. Back in 2019 when I started seeing Vlair, there was a lot of comments per video, a lot of communication going on. By the time I joined Vlair, I guess the fears of copper kind of died down, because that's why a lot of people joined Vlair in the first place. And there was a lot less community and communication going on in Vlair videos, particularly any of the ones I was uploading. The amount of time I outpoured into Vlair, and I was exhausted often. I was spending a lot of my free time, watching Vlair videos, more so, in a constant quick succession sort of thing, commenting and everything, which I feel has improved my ability to comment on videos, but I wasn't getting the rewards in turn for doing that because there wasn't getting any comments on my own videos. I'm not expecting to get super huge or super popular, but I guess because I am myself lonely, and because I like having the feedback from people, the lack of commentary was a real sore point. So when Vanilla, quiet! I'm recording, by the way. Okay, so you stay in here. You'll be nice and cozy until Mummy comes down here. Okay, so yeah, we got a guest here, Vanilla the doggy. Hello, Vanilla. Not that you can see her. Oops, I may have gotten a bit too much. And now, now Vanilla's left. Okay, goodbye, Vanilla. I need to get a peg for the recording sign. Yeah, for Christmas I got a no entry recording in progress sign, but it doesn't fit well on the door handle. It gets in the way, so I need to get a peg or something. Anyway, as I was talking about, yeah, so Vlair's currently in a funding process, as I just mentioned, but I don't have any money spare to actually help fund it myself at all. because of course, work's been light because of, 2020, all that sort of stuff. And I'm not sure about rejoining Vlaire anyway. So I don't think, myself, I'm not thinking it's worth it joining Vlaire, or at least in terms of splitting our attention. It feels like we need to focus on one or the other, and splitting our attention between Vlaire and YouTube doesn't work well in terms of how we're going about things. So yeah, that's what's happening with Vlaire. Rafi seemed to express interest in that, but he doesn't tend to often actually do the communication side of things, actually chat or comment with people. But he's interested in making sort of content. He was interested in making content for it, but I think he has other plans, which I'll get into later. Not that I know the full extent of them, but yeah, so Vlaire, probably not, that's probably it for Vlaire, unfortunately, in terms of the Grin Brothers presence, which is a shame, because I like the idea of supporting a smaller group and, even trying to get big in a smaller way, but I don't think it's too exhausting trying to split our attention between both Vlaire and YouTube, as well as taking into account the way I want to set up this channel is that it's almost future prepped for the time when both me and Rafi have our own jobs, and later on future prepped for by the time when we end up actually moving out of the house. So next thing I wanted to talk about, which is I guess the near future. Souldin Short Starts is coming to a close in the near future. Yes, one of the problems I had, which I'll mention in regards to video creation, both because of in trying to create the Vlaire videos and in trying to create the We Wonders videos and trying to be active on these places and such. One of the problems I found is that basically I'm doing too much at once. And when I think of it, Souldin Short Starts was actually only created as like a filler gap thing. It wasn't actually intended to be a mainstay series. We Wonders was always the planned series I was going to be doing working on. The content is basically supposed to be a triangle originally, which was Grin Brothers with a bunch of subcategories, Rafi's stuff as Raf Ham Presents, and my stuff as We Wonders. But Souldin Short Starts, We Wonders took a long time to build up to getting a Wii collection ready for it and preparing the ideas for it. And Souldin Short Starts ended up being a filler gap I ended up making. Originally called Souldin Starts and, constantly arguing back and forth. So Souldin Short Starts with the planned videos I've got for the week of my birthday, so in February. That will be the last Souldin Short Starts. The very last one. This February. That said, Souldin Short Starts will return in a form sometime in the future, although it probably won't be Souldin Short Starts, it will be Souldin Starts, but that'll be something I'll be addressing later in the far future section I've basically got to cover. But for now, as the form of Souldin Short Starts, where I play a game for the opening part of a game for a short period, that will be ending this February with my very last one. I hope you look forward to it, because it's a game I really enjoyed playing and getting to try it for the very first time, and I think the videos have come out really well, but that'll be in February. Okay, Tea Time. Tea Time was also made as a stopgap filler thing, and it's something I've been considering ending, because the thing with Tea Time is it's a discussion-based video, but I'm not big enough to actually get people discussing with me. So, because it's podcast styled, but it's always on me on my own, and so it's just me narrating my thoughts in a more constructive manner than I can usually get out in the recording. But at the same time, a second person talking with me, it's not much good as a discussion video. And because of the lack of comments, it doesn't work well in terms of sharing these ideas and such. So Tea Time kind of fails as to what it sets out to do, really. Well, the original purpose was just to fill in time for editing and such, but we don't need to do that anymore because of the way we construct our uploads, now that we only do 4 uploads of the main series of Grin Brothers content per week, and we don't worry about filling in, we've got spare days, we've got 2-week breaks in between series, we're now at a more casual pace with everything, so we don't need filler like Souldin Short Starts, Tea Time, or even Grin Brothers Minis in particular. So yeah, so Tea Time will probably come to a close. That said, it probably won't come to a close for a long time, and I'll be going at a relaxed pace with its conclusion. I'll probably finish Tea Time as it is, with like the 200th Tea Time, just to be fancy and all that. But the thing at the same time is, though, I feel Tea Time as one of the most unique aspects of the Grin Brothers channel in my tea sampling that I do. And I really want to keep that element around. As you may have seen from the Bright Memory Christmas videos, I tried trying out a new tea during recording, and as you'll later see in the Pokemon Sword playthrough, I also try out a tea later in that, which you'll see in the uploads of 2021. So I'm trying to combine the elements of Tea Time, where I'm doing the tea sampling, into the other content to keep that unique appeal, because along with the attempted family friendliness of our channel, the more relaxed and less professional nature that we have going for the channel, and the tea tasting, I think it's the unique selling point of the channel. So whilst tea time itself will be far less frequent and eventually stopped altogether, it will the tea tasting aspect will continue in other videos and pop up from time to time. Reaction videos, which are also a part of tea time through reacting to Nintendo Directs and such, I'm unsure to what extent they will remain around. The E3 Direct reactions, if E3 continues, will remain. That is a definite. But the other reaction videos, it's hard to say because they were mainly made to react to Nintendo Directs, but Nintendo Directs don't really happen properly anymore. They're all like Nintendo Direct minis, and I don't know, there's not quite the appeal. But I have these fantastic reaction images of Nanka, so I want to keep using them in some way. So along with the E3 React, there may be some reaction to other events depending, but I think the reaction videos will probably come to a close in terms of a more frequent thing because, I probably won't be reacting to all the Nintendo Directs because they don't have quite the same charm out there all Nintendo Direct minis. But I do want to try to keep doing the reaction things simply to use those fantastic artworks made by Love to Eat Egg. But yeah, tea time will eventually come to a close. Not anytime soon because I'm actually need to make 43 more tea times to get to tea time 200. So yeah, it's sticking around for a while, but you'll just be seeing a lot less of it. It'll be less frequent. But because of the lack of commentary, tea time isn't really worth continuing the investment into. Unless suddenly I explode in popularity and get a lot of comments, in which case having a discussion video like tea time would actually make sense. But for now, I feel kind of the discussion merit might be better done in other means, which I will talk to again later. Moving on to Wii Wonders. Yes, an update on Wii Wonders. Wii Wonders is going on break because I overworked myself trying to do both the Vlare stuff, the Souldin short starts, and the Christmas tea times, and all this other stuff. I overworked myself along with Wii Wonders, and lots of life events happened, both as expected of 2020 and events that specifically happened to me and the family, that ended up delaying a lot of the Wii Wonders stuff, and the schedule of Wii Wonders became so tight that I had no breathing room. So the plan and particularly collecting Wii games for the future series, I've planned themes and such, and I've been struggling to get the games because of lockdown and all that, stopping me from actually going out into the stores and finding them, given how anti-online purchasing I am. So in the case of Wii Wonders, I do plan to continue it. I absolutely love Wii Wonders. It was exhausting and hard work, but the creativity I get to put into these videos was an absolute blast, and the review process and being able to recommend these people and being able to try out new games on my favourite console of all time, it's been a real treat. So I will be continuing Wii Wonders, and I already have the Season 2 artwork ready. That said, Season 2 won't begin in 2021. Season 2 of Wii Wonders will begin in March 2022. I'm giving it an entire year's break in order to build up content, get videos ready, collect more Wii games so I can get Season 4 and such. I've got the games ready for Season 3, get the artwork, and also have a year head start on all the artwork for Wii Wonders. So yeah, Wii Wonders will be continuing, but it is on a break, so there won't be any Wii Wonders as next year. Maybe some Wii Wonders specials if I find time. I guess there'd be more Grin Brothers Mini. I was curious about playing more of Panya and Golf with Style and The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess because I particularly enjoyed those games and feel there's more to it. I would say WarioWare Smooth Moves at all, but I actually pretty much completed that as much as I could possibly. Oh gosh, I had so much fun with those games. But yeah, Wii Wonder Season 2 will be next year, but it's definitely continuing, and I hope to build up a lot of content, and I hope to get to a pace where I never have to be so stressed about it again. I think that's also kind of a key thing. Although I always like to keep myself busy, I feel like it's not good for my health if I'm constantly getting myself stressed over everything, and trying to get myself in a less stressed out state would be pretty good. Now this next part I don't know the full details of, but let's talk about Rafi, because he's got some content plans for the future as well. He's got more Rafham Presents in the pipe work, and as with the fact that Vlare shut down as we were in the middle of uploading a Rafham Presents, the Rafham Presents of one of his playthroughs that was originally planned for Vlare uploads may now just reappear on the Grin Brothers channel instead due to the shutdown of Vlare. So you all get to enjoy that content. Along with that, yeah, Rafi has been considering various plans. He was considering just doing the content for Vlare himself if need be. I'm not sure if he's going to still go with that. But he's also been considering plans for Twitch to actually do some streams and such. Personally, I am not a fan of that sort of content, so I don't think I'll ever appear on it. The lack of editing, and again, the fact that I wanted to make a family-friendly channel to begin with, but then YouTube banned kids. The Twitch and, streaming in general just doesn't sit right with me, so I doubt there's going to be involvement from me for that part, but Rafi's sort of considering it because he was curious about trying that out. He's a lot more lax with the way he does his content and such, and, all that sort of stuff. He himself has a more consistent job, whereas my job is presently on and off. But he's got himself a consistent job, which may sort of nab into some of his editing time. But luckily, with the plans for me to end Souldin Short Starts and to, phase out tea time, as well as the Wii Wonders break, I'll actually be able to edit in future. Once I get my new laptop to be working properly with Sony Vegas, it's had some issues for some reason, although only with Wii games so far. I have no idea why. As you may also notice, thumbnails and such, we got those. Rafi's having a lot of fun creating thumbnails. I've created the odd thumbnail here and there. And we'll be continuing to try and make sure there'll be thumbnails for all our content. Okay, so now let's talk about the far future. The far, far, far future. And then I'll talk about the present. So, future plans for the Grin Brothers. Well, the setup for the Grin Brothers that I'm trying to get at the moment, the ideal setup at the moment, is taking into account whether me and Rafi may end up getting full-time jobs. It may dip from 4 episodes per week to 3 episodes in such an event, but hopefully it won't. A lot of the games actually take quite a few parts to cover, and I don't want to have, a playthrough last too long, because then it gets boring uploading the same sort of, series over and over and over again. But yeah, in the very far future, me and Rafi will get full-time jobs, but the Grin Brothers channel, with all the plans I've suggested, should be able to adapt to that. But there is one change that would significantly change the landscape of the Grin Brothers channel, and that's if either Rafi or me, whichever one of us, or eventually both, move out of the house. At that point, we're too far away to record the Grin Brothers as a regular thing, because we'd be in separate houses and have to arrange meeting up and such thing. In that event, in the, again, far future, Grin Brothers itself would probably become kind of the side content to the Grin Brothers channel. The channel would plan to still be run, because Rafi enjoys making videos, and I enjoy making videos, and, we like the editing process and all that. The so far current thing, again, this could change, because it is the far future we're speculating here. In the event that, we've moved out of the houses and such, we'd do Grin Brothers whenever we can, recording Grin Brothers series and such. But the way this thing would be broken up is that the main content would actually both be mine and Rafi's content. My content would be, Rafi's content would be he'd get both the weekend days where he can upload Rathan Present stuff or any other content he decides to create. So he gets Saturday and Sunday all to himself. And I would get the Monday, Wednesday, and the Friday. Tuesday and Thursday would then be spare days where through communication we can contact, who should upload what sort of thing. But I'd get the Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, with Wednesdays once every month being dedicated to Wii Wonders, and then the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, well, the Wednesday whenever it isn't a Wii Wonder, going towards the return of Souldin Short Starts. Although at that point it would be called Souldin Starts, because I'd be making lengthier Souldin Starts videos. Still only 15 minutes per part, but I usually only record about, 12 parts. Now it'd be dulled up to like 24. There'd be the 2-week break for the Souldin Starts sort of thing. And, of course, Wii Wonders would take up a slot within the month. And then Grin Brothers would then, whenever we managed to record Grin Brothers content, that would become kind of like a more extensive Grin Brothers minis, where we wouldn't have to worry about, completing the entire game with Grin Brothers content sort of thing. So a lot of our content would be almost focused on first impressions. But that's what we theorized. I would also have plans for new artwork and such to, signify this change. But that's, our theory for the far future when we actually leave the house and such. But that is way, way off. Because, us afford a house in these times. God, I still haven't even got myself a full-time job. So we're currently in the present. So let's talk about the present. How we've got the channel, along, at the moment is basically what we've got presently going. In the event we both get full-time job, maybe we wouldn't do the Sunday upload. But otherwise, this is how it should be. We've got Grin Brothers videos going on. We've got the Pokemon Sword uploads. We'll be continuing on the 11th of the 1st, 2021. And for those of you who are Deviant artists, we've got a special raffle, the To Be Commissioned raffle, on the 4th of January, 2021, which allows you to choose out of 6 options one of the playthroughs we'll do this year for the Grin Brothers channel. Let's see. Well, there are some changes we do plan in terms of the present, which is the fact that we are maybe changing how we do Twitter and Tumblr updates and posts. That being it seems that via linking videos via YouTube, via Twitter and Tumblr, seems to put you down in terms of suggestions. Your Twitter and Tumblrs don't get suggested as much when you actually have videos linking people away to YouTube videos. Apparently, that's the case. Which is weird, because you can actually use Tumblr and Twitter to watch those same YouTube videos without ever clicking away. But that seems to be, pull attention away. So we are considering to potentially boost the channel via not, posting every single video via to the Twitter or Tumblr. Instead, as an alternative, we are considering uploading the thumbnails as a way, and then providing a link so people can go that way, rather than do the direct video upload, and see if that helps. And just try to use Twitter and Tumblr in more creative ways than simply as effectively external video storage sites or external video links sort of thing. That's why I said about with the tea time, it phasing out, don't worry, because I can do such discussions on Tumblr instead. They wouldn't be as in-depth, but I can, ask the questions and try to get a debate or discussion regarding a gaming topic going. So far, I haven't had much luck, but it doesn't help that, a lot of the games I've talked about so far are kind of obscure games, like Excite Truck and Sakuna of Rice and Ruin. Rafi's also going to try and get more active on Twitter, and he's been trying to do so for a while. And again, we've got the idea of using the thumbnails as a nice eye-catching thing, and a way to get people to go to the videos in a way that apparently the algorithms won't push us down. So that's a potential thing that, we're going to sort of try to think of alternative ways to utilize the Twitter and Tumblr more creatively. And I also presently use the DeviantArt, because I host a to-be-commissioned raffle. I use the DeviantArt to also give, updates on the channel, and, every couple weeks, link to videos and such. So, but yeah, presently, pretty much everything you currently know of it, aside from, the things that are going to, stop or phase out, is basically the future of the Grin Brothers. Grin Brothers Minis, as you may have seen with the Bright Memory, Grin Brothers Minis will probably stick around in the form of specials, through such as the our anniversary sort of thing, and a Christmas Day, and maybe, the odd other video. That will be Grin Brothers Mini content, but because, again, how we've paced out the videos, we don't actually have to make Grin Brothers Mini content anymore. But the Grin Brothers Mini content will, stick around as basically the way to say, this is a special video. Grin Brothers, hopefully I'll get to do some collabs with some people, some different people. But if not, you'll probably see more Grin Brothers collabs with Peter Bob. The person we've consistently collabed with. But hey, yeah, maybe we'll be able to do some collabs with other people at some point. But yeah. That's just what I wanted to talk about. Just a quick video, sort of quick, simple video, nothing too flashy on screen. Just updating you on all the stuff that we're doing with the plan for the Grin Brothers channel, both in the past, the present, and the far, far, far flung future. Some of these may change based off things that happen, particularly the far, far, far flung future stuff for obvious reasons. But in any case, feel free to share your thoughts below about the future of our channel and, the current state of our channel. Feel free to share your thoughts, what you think about the channel in general, and you just chat in general. I wouldn't mind just chatting about video games and stuff with you in the in the comments below. In any case, hope you've been enjoying the Grin Brothers content, and cheerio!